In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. My name is Kenny Bomer, and this is the Ask a Muslim series where we're addressing the top 50 questions about Islam. Question number 23. What are the pillars of Islam? The 5 pillars are the main requirements of Islam. Like the pillars of a building, the religion can neither stand nor be completed without them. And these requirements are the declaration of faith, the Shahada. To be a Muslim, one must believe and pronounce the words which mean, I testify that there is no deity other than Allah, and I testify that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. The Shahada expresses the belief that Allah exists, and that he is unlike and superior to all of his creation, and that none is worthy to be worshipped except for him. And it confirms that Muhammad, peace be upon him, is among the prophets who conveyed Allah's revelation to mankind, peace be upon all of the prophets. Thus, the Quran being a final message revealed by Allah, and authentically narrated teachings of his final prophet are the basis of the religion, completing and superseding all that came before it, and they define the Islamic way of life. It is a declaration by the believer of acknowledgement and willing obedience. The second pillar is the performance of regular prayer. Prayer was practiced in some form throughout the history of all the prophets, peace be upon them all, and their followers as an indispensable part of Allah's religion. Islam, the final stage of monotheistic religion, considers prayer to be essential. A Muslim prays 5 times daily, within specified intervals, as taught by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The prayers are obligatory and are a direct and continuous bond between the worshipper and his creator. Most believers are inclined also to pray additional voluntary prayers whenever convenient, as this was a practice of their Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The next pillar of Islam is zakat, which is obligatory annual expenditure. And it's an important principle of Islam in that all things belong to Allah, and that all wealth, possessions, and properties are held by human beings are given to them in trust by Allah. Muslims are commanded to obtain and spend their wealth in lawful ways. The divinely ordained system of zakat is the right of Allah within his dominion. It is neither a charity nor a tax, but an obligation due from those Muslims who possess wealth in excess of their basic needs. It's an ideal way to meet the needs of the poorer sections of society without causing hardship to the rich. The word zakat means purification and growth. Its regular payment purifies the owner's remaining wealth and purifies his heart from such ailments as greed and selfishness. Every Muslim calculates his own zakat individually, and in most cases it involves the payment of 2.5% of his excess capital or savings each year. The next pillar is fasting. Islamic fasting, which involves abstinence from eating, drinking, smoking, and marital intercourse, is observed throughout the daylight hours of the lunar month of Ramadan. Done in the obedience to Allah's command, it teaches believers patience and self-control, as well as reminds them of their responsibility towards the millions of human beings who lack adequate food and provisions or are victims of their unjust distribution. The month of fasting is accompanied by increased efforts towards good manners and righteous deeds, along with additional worship at night. It is not a retreat from life, but rather a supplement to the Muslim's ordinary activities. The 5th pillar of Islam is Hajj. Hajj is the annual pilgrimage, and it's an obligation once in a lifetime only for those who are physically and financially able to perform it. In spite of that, over 2 million Muslims journey to Mecca each year from every corner of the globe, providing a unique opportunity for people of various nations and cultures to meet one another as guests of Allah. Hajj is an expression of pure faith and total submission to Allah's command, and the pilgrim performs rites of unqualified obedience, seeking nothing but the Creator's acceptance of his or her efforts of forgiveness of his or her past sins. And then the Muslim returns home with a fresh outlook on life, a purified soul, and blessings from his or her Lord. Again, my name is Kenny Bomer, and this is the Ask a Muslim series, where we're answering the top 50 questions about Islam. Thank you for listening.